5 things I love about my FZ-07. So one of my favorite things about this bike is this dash right here, especially when it's paired with my phone. It looks real nice, super flush, lots of information, everything I need. This dash features gear indicator, which is super nice. I never thought I needed one before. I used to have a bike without one, but you know, sometimes when you're shifting down from 6th gear, sometimes you forget what gear you're in. And what I would have to do on my old bikes without the gear indicator, I would have to shift all the way down to 1st to know which gear I'm in, and then I would have click up to get into neutral. But in this case, if you're not even paying attention, all you have to do is just look down and see, oh, I'm in 2nd. So all I have to do is just go half click down and I'll be neutral. So I don't have to go all the way down to 1st and then half shift up. Next thing is this really nice fuel gauge right here. It has a lot of bars, shows you how much gas you have. Very nice. I really hope that one day 600cc bikes will come with one. It will be very nice for the riders, because you know, we live in 2018 now, 21st century. Should have a fuel gauge on every single bike now. Shows you the time, obviously. Every bike shows the time. Shows your speedo, your tachometer, obviously. What I don't like about this tachometer is the red line. It's very hard to see. Would have been very nice if they made this a little bit more visible, but whatever. I never looked down at the dash anyways. This bike also shows oil temperature. Very nice. Trip meters. I think you have 2 trip meters on this bike, and it also shows you the temperature, which is 28 degrees right now, which is pretty freaking hot. It's not always perfectly accurate. It's only accurate when you're going like on the high speed. Whenever you're in one spot, like the temperature goes up by like 10 degrees. So the second thing I love about this bike is the fact how cheap it is, and the fact that if I drop it or if I damage it, it won't be expensive to fix, compared to like a sport bike which has fairings, which would cost at least $400 for just one panel. But if you want to prevent your bike from getting damaged on low speed, might as well just get frame sliders. That's what I'm probably gonna do, and try to protect these panels nonetheless. I definitely don't want to scratch up the engine or the front fork, so get frame sliders for those too. Now the third thing that I really like about this bike is how flickable and light it is. Like, it's so easy to flick. Like, oh my god, it's actually surprisingly lighter than a GSX 250, which is a 250cc motorcycle. So imagine, this is almost a 700cc motorcycle. It has less weight than a 3 times smaller engine. Like, what? Like, come on, Suzuki, like, make your bike lighter already. It's 2018. But yeah, the weight of this bike is super light, so easy to corner. One of the biggest problems I have with cornering though is if you take the corner too fast or too hard, or it's a really sharp corner, the suspension kind of gives out on you and you start bouncing all over the place, which sometimes gets annoying at times. But you know, this is a city bike, so more times than ever I'm actually just going on straight roads, or I'm sitting in traffic, and going over potholes is much more comfortable with soft suspension than hard suspension. Especially the fact that here in Canada we have very long winters, so over the winter all the roads get completely messed up, and there's so many potholes, there's so many cracks in the road. Soft suspension is the way to go. If you're a heavier person or a bigger guy, I'd suggest maybe upgrading it, because it will maybe be too soft for anywhere. But like, I'm pretty light, so this suspension fits me perfectly. Now, talking about this bike fitting me perfectly, this FZ-07 fits like my legs in such a perfect manner. Like, this tank right here completely wraps around my legs, or my legs completely wrap around this tank in such a perfect manner. It's so nice. The only problem I have with how this bike fits me is the handlebars are a little bit in a awkward position when you're riding for a very long time, because your back is not really straight. You're still a little bit kind of leaned over, so after very long rides your upper back and lower back will slightly get tired. But you know, if you ride a lot, your back will get used to it, no problem, and bike will be very comfortable for you. And on to the last thing is the engine. And I know everyone talks about the engine and how good it is and how torquey it is, but it's true, this engine is super torquey. Like, let me show you. If I go down to 2nd, like, it has so much torque, like, holy shit, you know, like it has so much torque everywhere you go. Like, I'd say right about 6,000 RPM it starts to really kick in, and pull you hard, and you get that like thrill of acceleration. Also, this engine is not like any other twin cylinder engine. It has a very unique sound compared to any other twin cylinder motorcycles. Like Kawasaki would never sound as brutal and as good as this Yamaha right here. Also, if you wanna bike that wheelies, this is gonna be a perfect bike because you don't even need to use the clutch. Like first, second gear, just twist the throttle quickly and your front wheel will go up, no problem. Just make sure you don't 12 o'clock the bike and flip it and crash it, just like some other people on the internet did. But anyway, that's about all I have for the top 5 things I love about the FZ-07. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Many other videos are coming out soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.